What you looking at? What's up?
Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another review. It's been a while since I did one of these, so it's going to be a PlayStation VR review. That's right, of a game that came out, I think it came out on October 2nd of 2018 for the PlayStation VR system. I'm doing a review on Astro Bot Rescue Mission. So, is this actually a good VR game? Or is it another one of those experiences that they charge big money for that it takes about 5 minutes to find out? Well, stay tuned for my normal review to find out. It's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with this time I'm doing a PlayStation VR review. It's been a while since I did one of these, and I thought, why not? Because this actually is a real game. I am doing a review on Astro Bot Rescue Mission. Now, what exactly is this game? Well, it's pretty simply a platformer, but with some very unique aspects of it. Considering the fact that it is a VR game, you're like, well, how's it going to do this? Is it going to be a first-person mode or what? Not exactly. You are like a little robot buddy that actually helps as you use Captain Astro, the little robot guy, to go through these levels and collect coins and also rescue his other robot buddies after an evil alien shows up at the beginning and pretty much destroys the main mothership of these little robot guys. It destroys it. You have to go around searching 5 different game worlds to get the parts back in order to fix the robot to get and fight the main boss and win the game. Now, each of these 5 worlds is completely different, has some neat aspects to them, and each world consists of 5 levels, one of them being an end boss. Now, well, if you would think it's just like a normal sort of platformer, how exactly does that work? Well, as you can see from the footage that I'm running, there's really an interesting game as you're playing it. You yourself are the camera. There are certain parts in the game when, as you progress, you will follow around your little robot buddy as he's going through the levels, but there's a lot of parts where it's a static area where you have to look around and be the camera. So a lot of instances I've found where you'll have to peek around corners to help the Captain Astro find the coins and kill enemies and find his buddies to find. A lot of times when you have to turn a lot too. This game is not meant for anyone that has back or neck injuries. I'll tell you that right now. Because honestly, throughout your battle of trying to find over 150, 160, or 170 of these little robot buddies, you'll find that you'll have to turn your head a lot. There's a lot of points in this game where as you move Captain Astro around, you'll have to turn around and look behind you to keep an eye on him as he's going through these platforms. There's certain areas where there'll be beams and walls and stuff in your way that if you can't look around, fortunately it's designed very clever to where they're not in a way that long, okay? You'll find areas that you can smash through with your head to get out of the way, and also as you progress through this game, which the best way I can describe it is this is like Super Mario 64 in VR. Honestly, and it's funny I say that because I notice a lot of reviewers are actually saying that too, but it does. It has the same charm and just the overall feel of a gathering game like Super Mario 64. In fact, a lot of the enemies, if you look at them, they look like Goombas, okay? They look like Goombas that grow spikes. I mean, they're like robot versions of Goombas, but come on, that's really what they look like to me. Now, as you go through these levels, you'll get different neat little abilities you can use with your on-screen controller. Because at any time you're playing the game, as you can see, the controller is physically on the screen, and it will match basically in the real world of what you're doing with the controller, which is really kind of cool. Let's just say you're drinking a beer or a soda or something, and you want to be able to set down your controller and drink it. You can actually tell by looking in-game with the VR headset on where the controller is to where you can go and grab it, which I thought was kind of a neat addition. But that actually can lead to some problems. There are some aspects in this game where the controller on screen gets in the way, and you'll physically have to move your controller away out of your view so you can see the platforms to get your little Captain Astro to jump on to get through. Now, like I said, as you go through each of these 5 different worlds, you will get different gadgets where your controller will transform into these different things you can actually use it for. One is like a grapple, where you can shoot a rope out that allows your little buddy to climb over certain obstacles. You can also use it to pull down things, and it's actually incorporated in the first boss battle as well. It'll also turn into like a water cannon that you can use for multiple different puzzles, even ninja stars as you progress through. And each one of these is very cleverly done to where it's actually pretty damn cool. I actually found this game to be a load of fun, and it is a challenging game. Don't get me wrong. It starts off rather easy, and most of the levels are kind of short. But at the same time, there's so many coins to collect that, and buddies to find, not including some of the bonus aspects. Now, like I said, as you go through this game, you collect coins, and the coins are used back in your hideout base once you get past the first world, in order to pretty much use a claw machine similar to the other game they made like this. I think it was like the little test demo game that came with the VR when you bought it. But you can use your coins to work in this claw machine to get items to add to your little area here on home base. And it pretty much is nothing more than the fact that each different world has its own set to it. Different things, enemies, and backgrounds and bosses. And as you collect enough coins, there are 100 coins for each claw grab in the claw machine. As you get these balls, they will unlock items in these boxes that you can go to in order to pretty much set the theme of the little area where your little robots play. Other than that, that seems to be the only real thing that the coins are for. So just keep that in mind. If you're not a big fan of actually going and unlocking items in the home base area, you can skip the coins then. The coins serve no purpose other than that. You won't get extra lives or nothing like that, because you do have infinite lives in this game, and when you die, you will go back to your nearest checkpoint. Now, one thing I've noticed as you go through, each level will have 8 robot buddies that you need to find. Some are out in the open, and a lot of them are hidden very cleverly. That's going to make it a real pain in the butt where you're going to have to look around, pay attention, and also solve some puzzles to find these guys. And once you hit them, they'll go back into your controller and you'll collect them. And as long as you get a certain amount of them, you can progress and actually fight the boss at the end of the level. I think it'll require so many of the little robot guys rescued and for you in order to unlock the boss at the end of the 5th level of each world. Now, as you go through, there are a couple things I've noticed. If you die, you will lose all coins up to your last checkpoint, but you will not lose the robot buddies you found. So if you end up dying right after collecting a robot buddy, you don't have to worry about it. It does save that to where you can just go on, unless you're like me and you just can't help but resist collecting the coins. In that case, you're going to go out of your way to collect every single friggin' coin. You get them from like smashing items, killing enemies, finding hidden locations, and also in every level there is at least one hidden chameleon. Sometimes they're in plain view and other times they're hidden very hard to find, but what you got to do is once you find one is just look at it and it will unlock these different side missions. There's a total of 26 levels in this game, 5 different worlds with 5 boss battles each, and including a finale boss that's quite impressive, and 26 challenge levels, which by far are actually fantastic. They are a super challenge. They're very, each one is varied quite drastically. Some of them have you doing basic stuff on platforming levels. Some have you using the different gadgets you've unlocked through your adventure, and others are just flat out boss battles. Like I said, each of the 26 different levels will have a hidden chameleon that you can find to unlock the challenge modes. So you think about it, you have 26 different levels and 26 different challenge levels in this game. It is a pretty long game. In fact, it's a game. Unlike other VR games, or as they call them, experiences, this is a full-fleshed out gaming experience. It's got charming music, it's got wonderful graphics, wonderful animation, and keep in mind, the recording that I'm using is straight from the recording mode, from the viewing aspect, whatever they call it. It's not from the VR headset. When you play it with the VR headset, the graphics are way better. The size of everything is so large, and the depth and field of everything, the monsters and bosses are huge. The level designs are just brilliantly done. And like I said, hand down, this has got some of the best damn graphics I've seen in a game in VR. Really, it does. The only thing I have to point out, it does have a couple problems. First of all, the problems with some of the level design, I don't find it a hindrance. But like I said earlier, if you have a problem with turning around, if you have back or neck issues, you will have a problem playing this game, because it does require you throughout the game to be constantly looking around, peering around corners, turning around backwards, looking up, and also there'll be enemies that will throw stuff at you that you will have to try to physically dodge out of their way, like you'll get slime on your face and you physically have to shake your head to get the slime off of it, which I don't really consider that a problem. But like I said, if you have neck or back injuries, this will actually be a painful game to play. Now, I haven't noticed any sort of locomotion issues or motion sickness with it, because even though there are certain levels where you're moving kind of quick, it's done in a way to where it alleviates you having any sort of motion sickness. So it's a very good game. So if you're actually susceptible to having motion sickness in VR games, but you do have a PSVR headset, this is actually a game I can recommend that won't hurt you that badly. It's actually a very well-designed game, a fantastic puzzle aspects to it, and hands down really, really good, platforming action. Now, like I said, along with this game, you have the 8 different characters that you'll find in each level that you unlock, and the boss battles, and it has a lot of replayability to it. Overall, the music is really kind of cool, but it reminds me of, I'm going to say the name wrong, Kamatri Damakri, or whatever it's called, the one where you're rolling the ball that keeps getting bigger. It's got this odd, weird Japanese music to it, but it's really charming music, and honestly, the characters are adorably cute. The sound effects are very well done, and if you have a sound headset, it's got very good surround sound, Dolby surround sound, to where you can pinpoint noises also from your hearing from right and left. So if you can hear like one of your little robot guys screaming off to your left, that'll help you actually find him. So it really does help with if you have a headset on as well. And like I said, this game came out on October 2nd, developed by Japan Studio. These guys are the same people that made Ape Escape, so they know how to actually work with, quote, the special things of what they're working with. Most people call it like gimmicks, but if it's done in a correct fashion, it makes the game really fun and really good. They knew how to work with the DualShock controller with Ape Escape, and they damn sure know what they're doing when it comes with a friggin' VR. They actually use all the tricks of the VR in this, from your sound, overall the field of vision and stuff, and just the overall use of like your head of actually, they even got it like the vast variety of the levels in this that are drastically different, and throughout the levels. One level you're in a construction zone, next level you're underwater, and the graphics are fantastic. It's got neat little added stuff, like, when you're underwater, if you blow out on the microphone, you actually blow bubbles out of your character. There's certain parts where you have to blow on enemies to kill them or get them out of your way, use your head to smash things, and it's really, really well done. The only flaw I would have to say with this game is the PSVR in general has one main problem with its resolution. Things up close, the textures are fantastic, crystal clean, crystal super crisp, very well done textures. But there's some parts in this game where you have to actually move your character, Captain Astro, really far out of the field of view. And the farther you get away, the more pixelated and the lower the resolution is. Now, it's not a game-breaking sort of scenario, but I notice it, and it is one of the flaws of the resolution of the PSVR. But it does not help hurt this game in any way. I mean, there's certain parts you'll notice where you're going to be like, oh, that kind of looks gross in the background. But up close, everything is so vibrant, so clean and crisp. The animation is well done. Yeah, the music is charming. Just all the aspects of everything you do in this game from start to finish. It is a fun, enjoyable, challenging, charming game, and it's for only $40. This game is actually a steal. I mean, it can take you well over 6+ hours to be able to do everything in this game. Sure, you can rush through it in about an hour or two if you really want to, but with all the challenge modes, being able to gather all your robot buddies, fixing your robot ship, doing all the boss battles, and beating the game, it is well worth the $40. And hands down, this is one of the best damn PlayStation VR games I've played in a really long time. The VR aspect is not just a gimmick. The whole game is designed very well around it, every single part. And at first it'll take you a while to get used to how you actually control your character. He's got a punch move, and he's got his little teleport jump move, which also acts as laser feet. So keep that in mind. If you want to kill enemies, a lot of times I find just jumping and hovering over them, using your laser feet to kill them, works better than trying to attack them. But in the end, this game has a little bit of everything in it, a good amount of variety, challenging level design, good platforming, and a very wonderful use of the PlayStation VR. If you have a PlayStation VR and you haven't played this game already, I highly recommend it. It is a great game to add to your library, and at $40, it's actually well worth the price. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to say thank you for everyone who watches this video. I want to say thank you for everyone who subscribes to my channel. Please hit that like button and leave a comment. It always helps this channel out. Don't worry, I've got tons of epic reviews I'm working on, including a bunch of other games, including Assassin's Creed Odyssey and some other games down in the future. Don't worry, I will be having lots of the epic reviews that people love, but I'm also going to be having lots more of Nate Tries, my new show of gaming mysteries and other stuff as well. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out.